This virus is a one-stop solution for complete tyranny. And they've already conditioned the public. They've already conditioned people to accept this, to say, you know what, we're not going to do anything. It's not worth fighting. Just comply. Just take the unemployment. Just don't say anything about the bills. Let us pass trillions of dollars of spending. Let us pass all these laws that are going to limit our freedoms just because of this virus. It's not going to be a big deal. And now we're seeing the repercussions of it. They are openly preparing us for another lockdown. Can you guys believe this?
There was Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next. But this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's kid's name. It's XBB.1.5, not UB40 who sings red, red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. It's XBB.1.5, not OMG or MP3 or TCBY or an eye chart made by a really high guy. Sounds like the password of your parents' Wi-Fi. It's XBB.1.5. XBB.1.5.
Okay. All jokes aside, this is not good. What are you doing? Okay, why are you doing this? The media is openly telling us, prepare for another lockdown. Prepare yourselves for more COVID insanity, okay? Prepare yourselves for passports, for masking again, for no gatherings, for shutdowns of companies, of countries. We're already seeing this with China, okay? There are no words in the English language to encompass the idiocy, the complete obsession by the entire, what would you call it? Entertainment industry, media complex of this disease, okay? This is literally, it's so hilarious to me because in my conversations with others and looking into this disease, the COVID-19 virus, it's literally a blanket excuse for literally just about anything on the leftist ideological platform, okay? You have the policing of disagreement, wrongthink on social media. You cannot speak against the popular narrative and agenda, okay? You have tyrannical policies. All right, I remember in my state, I'm in Ohio, the governor, which was a Republican, shut down our state. All right, we had a curfew at night. We could not go outside of our houses at night. This virus is a one-stop solution for complete tyranny. And they've already conditioned the public. They've already conditioned people to accept this, to say, you know what, we're not going to do anything. It's not worth fighting. Just comply. Just take the unemployment. Just don't say anything about the bills. Let us pass trillions of dollars of spending. Let us pass all these laws that are going to limit our freedoms just because of this virus. It's not going to be a big deal. And now we're seeing the repercussions of it, okay? Now we're seeing the repercussions of the 2020 policies of endless spending. Our inflation is through the roof. Our prices are through the roof, and it all goes back to the overreaction, to the overplaying, to the hyping up of this virus. Am I saying it's not dangerous at all? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that this thing has been used and abused to push an agenda that is terrible. It's terrible for our country. It's terrible for our world. It's terrible for our children. All right, an example that I'm going to give you guys about some of the downfalls and problems caused by this virus and our reaction to it. It goes back to even things like schooling. I'm friends with a teacher, right? I'm friends with actually a couple teachers. The teachers themselves have told me that this year, in the past 2 or 3 years, have been absolutely almost impossible to teach these kids because there was a 2 or 3 year gap. And when you're talking about children in their developmental stages with learning and with going to school, that crucial age where you are first learning mathematics, you're first learning reading, all these types of things, the alphabet, spelling, I mean, the core competencies of education, those few years are absolutely crucial to your learning process. And when you have kids that missed out on kindergarten, first grade, second grade, even third or fourth grade, during COVID, they were learning online. These kids were not learning absolutely anything. Okay, and when you take those kids that did not learn anything for 2 or 3 years and you throw them back into school, not only are their learning deficiencies apparent, they are absolutely addicted to things like TikTok. Their attention spans are terrible. Their attention spans are terrible. I mean, I remember when I was in school, people were worried about attention spans and just children's learning abilities because of what video games and these types of things. You know, video games were becoming popular. You had smartphones coming up at the time, and they were worried back then. But now it's terrible because all of our children's attention spans, for the most part, have been shortened to 5 or 10 seconds from TikTok, from YouTube Shorts, from this complete almost hypnotism with technology. And Jimmy Fallon himself, this is what I want to say. I don't think Jimmy Fallon is a bad man. I don't think he's a bad person, but I know for a fact that he will do anything and everything that his producers, that his network tells him to do. Okay, because I've seen Jimmy Fallon make jokes in the past. I don't, maybe 2015, I've seen him make jokes against the other side of things. I've seen him make jokes against Obama. I've even seen him make a few jokes against Joe Biden. So I don't have a problem with Jimmy Fallon, but he has consistently gone this direction. And even this act, okay, I see a little bit of comedy in this act itself. I'm not even sure if they meant it to be like this, but it's a little bit humorous to me that they made this into this song, because it kind of is mocking the whole idea of these variants just keep coming out, right? I mean, me and my friends have joked in the past, like, oh, did you guys hear the new variant dropped? You know what I mean? Like they came out with a new variant, like almost like it's a new pair of shoes or like it's a new, video game or something like that. It's funny. It's funny to a certain extent, but what's not funny about it is that this is affecting people's lives. This is affecting the future of our country. This is affecting the mental health of our young people and our expectations of what we expect from reality, okay? When our founding fathers set up this country, yes, there may have been some questionable motives tied in there, but for the most part, this America was founded to be a home of democracy, a home of an enlightened age of humanity. That's what America was founded to be, truly. And when we see these agendas being pushed right now by really what it is the World Economic Forum, by the people that are truly in power, it's very discouraging. And while this may be funny, this Jimmy Fallon situation with the late night shows, Kimmel, all these guys doing these things, some of them could be a little bit funny, but it's just the lockstep brainwashing of a population. That's the problem. It's a lockstep brainwashing of our population to push through a certain agenda, to take advantage of people's fears, to take advantage of people's lack of really information when it comes to this subject. Because if you asked half the country right now, how deadly is this virus? They really could not give you an accurate number. I remember seeing a poll number around the midterms that said, they asked Democrats and Republicans. They asked Republicans, how deadly is this virus? Republicans said about, 1%, maybe 0.7%. And the Democrats said like 20, 30% or something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous, the difference in the mortality percentage. And both of them were elevated. Even the Republican number, if let's say it's 1%, even that was higher than it actually was for COVID-19. But the Democratic number was so much higher because they have successfully convinced a large section of the population that this thing is worse than it really is. Now, like I said, I actually had COVID myself, and I had a tough time with it. When I was 22, 21, I had a really tough time with COVID. I had a very challenging time. I had pneumonia. I had all that. So I know firsthand that this virus can be pretty bad, but as far as changing how we operate as a society, as far as living this life where we make our whole entire life, we make our whole entire news and media and talk shows and all these things just about one virus, is absolutely ridiculous. That just comes down to your fundamental understanding of life. Do you live in fear or do you live in faith? If you live in fear, you're going to be fearing all these little things. If you fear death, you're going to be fearing all these little things. You're going to fear the flu. You're going to fear pneumonia. You're going to fear this virus. You're going to fear everything. You know what I mean? You're going to fear every cause of death because you fear death. But if you live your life in faith, this doesn't bother you. That's the beauty of faith. That's the beauty of living your life in a certain perspective, is that stuff like this does not bother you. I mean, literally the worst thing could happen, and I'm still living in faith. I don't fear death. So that's really the point here, is that we all need to live in a state of faith and not fear. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that I think it's kind of funny. Like I said, I think this video is kind of funny, but it's just sad that this is where we're at as a country. So those are my thoughts on the subject. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think this is a problem, or do you think it's just a harmless skit by Jimmy Fallon? Let me know. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you drop a like on the video. If you found any part of it entertaining or informative in any way whatsoever, drop a like. Subscribe here to Uncommon Sense for more political and news commentary and analysis from an unbiased, common sense perspective. And with that being said, I will see everybody next video. Peace out.